welcome to Sundry Sports for Wednesday, July the 8th. And I put this off all day, and now it's late, but we can get through it. Especially if they're just reiterating old news. Cowboys Dontari Poe. Oh, look, it's the Gallimore one again. Here's something different. NFL and NFL Players Association fight over preseason games just getting started. Come on, don't pull an MLB. Don't be that way. The preseason with just 2 games, that's the hill you want to die on, Players Association? There is value in the preseason. With less than 3 weeks to go before NFL teams are scheduled to report to their facilities for training camp, there's some mixed messaging happening. Just don't go all baseball on everybody. Why is this a big story? Face masks are stupid, especially cloth ones. It's an illusion. It's an illusion of safety. Really. Because if you're wearing cloth masks, there is still transmission. It's just a little bit less likely. But if you're healthy, then you're actually more likely to get sick with whatever other germs get stuck to your mask. McCarthy faces several challenges, yes. Cowboys news injuries to worry most about. Why Jerry's still quiet. Yes, I read that. Undrafted free agents journey to Cowboys roster. Daunting, not impossible. Looney. Earnings starting not again for Cowboys will be music to big man's ears. That's as center to replace Travis Frederick. Cowboys to hold 2020 training camp at home instead of Oxnard, California. That's not news. Everybody has to have training camp at home. Okie dokie. That was fast. Moving along to... Why did I get that first? Well, just to mix things up. Yahoo Sports Read and React. Trending. Silver. More COVID cases in NBA bubble could shut down season. Because everybody is a coward. They're not going to die. Next up. NFL owners versus NFL players. Okie dokie. Who are college football's top 25 quarterbacks? Ryder Cup postponed to 2021. I don't know what that is. Should I know what that is? I'm sure it's a disappointment to some people. Canceling. Okay. Canceling. That sounds like a good plan to me. This is apparently... starts with a tweet from Deshaun Jackson, I guess. I want to apologize to the Jewish community, Jeffrey Lurie, Howie Roseman, Doug Peterson, the Eagles organization, and our fans for the insensitive and ill-informed posts that I shared on my social media. My intention was to uplift, unite, and encourage our culture with positivity and light. Unfortunately, that did not happen. I unintentionally hurt the Jewish community in the process, and for that I am sorry. Now, more than ever, we must work together to end discrimination of all types and against all people and communities. Yeah, that includes against white people, by the way. Or at least it should. Does it not? This apology is more than just words. It is a promise to do better. I will fully educate myself and work with local and national organizations. Always with the educating oneself. I'm so tired of that word. Work with local and national organizations to be more informed and make a difference in our community. I will consider my words and actions moving forward. I will seek out voices from other communities and listen to their words, thoughts, and beliefs. In a time of division, I am committed to doing my part in making this world a better place for our children. Deshaun Jackson. Somehow, somebody made Deshaun Jackson feel like he had to do the whole white person thing of total capitulation and self-flagellation and a vow to do the whole self-educating thing and the listening to other communities thing. What the fuck did he post? Honestly, it probably wasn't anything. Okay. Happy hump day, y'all. Let's start the day off talking a little cancel culture and the inconsistency within it. This comes to us courtesy of Deshaun Jackson, who thought it a good idea to favorably quote Adolf Hitler. Oh, oh, that's funny. Okay, I guess it was a little something that he did post. Oh, that's funny. Seriously, the quote, which turns out to be fake, had Hitler essentially saying he would start World War III to keep Jews from oppressing the black community in America? Yeah, that's not something that he would say. Hitler didn't like the blacks either. What the fuck kind of stupidity is that? Pretty vile stuff that has not caused much uproar amongst the NFL community and beyond. Well, apparently it was enough uproar to get Deshaun Jackson to fully retract it and apologize. The Eagles condemned him, but beyond that, it's been mostly radio silence, at least compared to the treatment Drew Brees got for saying he'd never agree with anybody disrespecting the flag. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for bringing that up. Thank you, Jay Hart, whoever you are. I don't think the Eagles should cut Jackson. It was a really dumb post. He's apologized twice. So slap him with a fine or a game suspension, whatever. That's not even necessary. Come on. But take his livelihood away for a lapse in judgment on social media? What's that going to accomplish? Who is saying that? Are people really saying that? I mean, if it hasn't caused much of an uproar, has not caused much uproar amongst the NFL community and beyond. So why are you even bringing that up? Why are you raising the possibility of him losing his job if it isn't causing a huge uproar? Anyway, what's that going to accomplish? But the relative lack of condemnation of Jackson for quoting Hitler from a league that a month ago skewered Brees for defending the flag is deafening. That's a good point. Good for you. As Busby put it, favorably referencing Hitler puts you on the far side of any possible line you can imagine. If you're going to be offended by Brees, you gotta be offended by Jackson. But where are all the offendees? This is the disconnect between sports and a lot of its fans right now. People see athletes picking and choosing their causes, some only when it's convenient. It's one of the biggest criticisms of LeBron James. He stands up for justice at home, admirable, but criticizes Houston's Daryl Morey for doing so abroad. It's not consistent, and while this sort of inconsistency is certainly not limited to athletes, it muffles voices like LeBron's from resonating as far as they could. In other words, if you're going to speak up, be consistent. If you're not, don't be surprised when some people tune you out. Okay. Well, that was a funny story. Rohrbach. LeBron's quest for a fourth ring may be now or never. Paylor. Can Chiefs afford to build a dynasty around Mahomes? That is an excellent question. NFL POD. What does Mahomes... Maybe it's pod. I don't know. I think I had this problem last time I saw this. NFL... It's probably pod. NFL pod. What... Oh, podcast. Yeah, NFL pod. What does Mahomes' deal mean for Dak Prescott? This is a stupid question, I think, because it really shouldn't mean anything. Because Mahomes and Dak Prescott should never, ever be in the same conversation. Okay, not never, ever, ever, but right now, this moment in time, they should not be in the same conversation because Mahomes has a Super Bowl, which means Mahomes has playoff wins and lots of regular season wins to boot. Dak Prescott doesn't really have that. Cumulatively, yeah, we've got regular season wins, although last season, which was what a lot of people are calling his best season, we didn't even get into the fucking playoffs. The Eagles, right? Yeah, we weren't even a wild card. The Eagles beat us out of the playoffs. Because Dak Prescott doesn't get results so far. We've even his what I consider his best season, his first season, his rookie season, we didn't get very far into the playoffs. And I think that's the furthest we've gotten his whole career here in Dallas. Let alone there's, no Super Bowl there. So, no, I don't think that Mahomes' deal could mean anything for Dak Prescott. Not to mention also, Mahomes actually wants to be with his team for the next 12 years. Because he's got 2 years left on his rookie contract, I believe, and then it's a 10-year contract. That's a long time. Whoops. Anyway, that's a long time, and one of the reasons why Dak was holding out is because he didn't want a long contract. He wanted 3 years, and the Cowboys were offering 4, something like that. I think that was it. Anyway, he was that 10-year conversation was not happening at all, and I don't think it's going to happen. So no, there's really no comparison. Anyway, the kicker, on another level. If you aren't familiar with Christian Pulisic, this is him scoring his 3rd goal in 5 games for Chelsea since the Premier League restarted. He is quickly emerging as one of the best young players in the world. Cool. Thanks for reading today's issue of Read and React. Moving along. The ESPN Daily. Good morning at 11:51 p.m. Usain Bolt named his daughter Olympia Lightning Bolt. Lovely. That's awesome. As I typed that, I felt a brief tinge of bitterness toward my parents. Victoria Lee Barron was really the best you could do, guys. That's a great name. Barron as your last name? And Victoria is a very good name to go with Barron, I think. Both very royal. Here's your ESPN Daily. Olympia Lightning Bolt. That's pretty cool. Listen up. MLS is back. MLS is back! The aptly titled MLS is Back tournament kicks off tonight at Disney's ESPN Wide World of Sports complex in Orlando, Florida. Is that Major League Soccer? Do I care? Despite FC Dallas, Football Club Dallas, being forced to withdraw from the tournament after an influx of positive coronavirus tests, as well as the postponement of multiple matches, squads are set to square off in the Florida heat and humidity. Ugh. Orlando City SC Soccer Club versus Inter Miami CF Club Football at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, ESPN. On today's episode of the ESPN Daily Podcast, ESPN's Taylor Twellman, that's a fun name, Twellman, shares what life in the MLS bubble has been like so far, from training and anxiety around injury to COVID-19, and questionable sandwiches. Then, Twellman and Mina Kimes discuss the tournament format and which teams are primed to succeed. Things to care about. All eyes on you, Ivy League. It's happening. The first impactful decision regarding college sports return to play will be made today when the Ivy League announces its plans for fall sports. Oh, I wonder what happened with that. The plan could include shortened schedules or postponing seasons until the spring. Will what the Ivies decide become a trend at the FBS level? Football something. Or will it be an outlier from a league without the same structures and incentives as big-time college football? College football's power brokers insist that it's the latter. For now. We all pay attention to it just to see what's out there, but think their model is a little different than our model when it comes to football, said West Virginia Athletic Director Shane Lyons, who is the chair of the NCAA Division I Football Oversight Committee. It is definitely going to impact what we do. Is it definitely going to impact what we do? As a whole, not necessarily. I would say that Lyons' stance on the matter is surprising to me, but we built this thing off trust, so I can't start lying now. So it's not surprising. When it comes to FBS football, so it's not football something. Anyway, when it comes to FBS football, there is too much at stake to believe that Power 5 commissioners and athletic directors would be willing to go that route unless they absolutely have to. fall something sports? I don't know. At least in the short term, though, it's possible that the Ivy League's decision will resonate more with its peers than with the FBS conferences. The question is whether multiple decisions to cancel or postpone fall sports, even at the lowest level, could snowball into more. The preschool teacher with a puncher's chance. Gabriel Morataya is living a double life. Not in the secretive sense, but in the he's a preschool teacher by day and a boxer by night sense. That's cool. That's always cool when that happens. Last night, Morataya, 4-0, 3 KOs. Cool. Won his second bout in a month to stay unbeaten as he defeated Sergio Lopez in 4 fast-paced rounds. But even as he pursues his boxing dreams, his day-to-day life remains in Southern California, teaching at Lions Center East in Rancho Cucamonga. I miss them to this day, Morataya said of the 3- and 4-year-olds he teaches. I didn't say touches. I didn't. The 3- and 4-year-olds he teaches. You hold a connection with them, and I love the ages I teach as well. All my students, they were perfect in my eyes. People never believe me when I say I'm a preschool teacher and a boxer. It's like 2 different worlds. It's like that Disney show Hannah Montana. She has 2 sets of lives. I feel like that sometimes. Gabriel Morataya, obviously. Morataya has kept in touch with parents via email, but at the moment he said he has no idea if or when he'll be able to conduct classes again because of the coronavirus panic. Sucks. In a moment of uncertainty for so many, Morataya is fortunate to have boxing as an outlet and an opportunity. Some fighters focus exclusively on boxing and commit to the sport from an early age. Others prioritize their careers as a means to put food on the table, and boxing is secondary. But Morataya, who holds a degree in psychology from California State University San Bernardino, wants to do it all. You just have to believe, Morataya said. I have a lot of goals in my life. You just have to make time for everything. People say you can't make time for certain things, but deep down, you can. I know I wanted my degree, so I had to get that. Things to watch. Bubble Boys. Alexa, play Hotel by Cassidy. If you're an NBA... you didn't get me because I don't have Alexa. If you're an NBA fan, there's a pretty solid chance that you've been wondering what it's like for athletes in the Orlando, Florida bubble. Now, thanks to the Orlando Magic's Evan Fournier, we have some insight. Fournier took to Instagram to pull back the curtain on a day in his hotel room-based life. From coloring books and in-room workouts to gluten-free meal deliveries. Ugh. Here's what the new normal looks like for players during the association's restart. Hell on earth, probably? Overheard. I put on my best Tommy Bahama for all of you today just to celebrate this. I'm one happy guy. Andy Reid on Patrick Mahomes' new deal. Remember when? On this date, a decade ago, we're getting old, guys, LeBron James announced his intention to take his talents to South Beach to team up with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. This heavily criticized moment of live television is viewed by many as the unofficial beginning of the super team era. Kanye West was there. It was a whole thing. Okay. Until next time, remember, never forget that on this day 5 years ago, DeAndre Jordan's free agency saga sparked an emoji battle throughout the NBA that included Paul Pierce tweeting a clip art version of a rocket and culminated with Blake Griffin tweeting a photo of a chair blocking the door to DJ's home. Simpler times, man. This has been your ESPN Daily for Wednesday, June 8th, 2020. Okay. That's all for tonight. Thank you, and good night.